This is episode 124 of the Vet Rise podcast. I am Juan Perez. And if you are a veteran ready to rebuild with purpose, structure, and peace, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. There's this moment that every veteran hits. Sometimes it's right after you leave the military. Sometimes it's 6 months later. Sometimes it doesn't hit you until a few years of being out. But eventually you realize something that cuts so freaking deep. You are not in charge anymore. You are not in charge anymore. You're not responsible for the team. You're not leading the squad. No one's looking out for you the same way that you are not looking out for anyone else anymore. And no one's looking to you for orders. No one's counting on you to keep them alive. And if you're like most of us, you don't know what to do with that. Because in the military, that responsibility gave you identity. It made you feel valuable, needed, locked in. You knew your place. No one could take that away from you. You had rank, and with that rank came clarity. But out here in civilian life, that same mindset will bury you. And I want to explain why. The responsibility that feels good but isn't yours anymore. That's what this is. You see, when we leave the military, we carry this wiring, this internal belief that we're supposed to be responsible for everyone. For our wife's happiness, for our kids' behavior, for our coworkers, our friends, our family, everybody. And it makes sense because responsibility felt like purpose in the military. We were trained to look after the people to our left and to our right, to check on them, to cover them, to sacrifice for them. But here's the problem. Out here, you are not in charge anymore. And if you keep pretending you are, you will lose yourself because what happens is this. You start managing everyone else's lives, trying to fix them, carry them, protect them, and you neglect the one person you're actually responsible for, yourself. It is an illusion of control. It is illusion of control. And let me call it what it is. It is control. You think you're leading, but really you're avoiding. Because if I can stay focused on their problems, then I don't have to face mine. If I can manage my wife's emotions, I don't have to sit in my own anxiety. If I can obsess over my kid's future, I don't have to look in the mirror and ask what kind of man I've become. It feels noble, but it is a distraction. And the truth is, that weight you are carrying, it is not leadership. It is self-abandonment. Now, you may not be in charge anymore, but you are still responsible. I don't want you to get it twisted. I'm not saying that you stop caring. I'm not saying you throw your hands up and say, not my problem. I'm saying you learn to put your oxygen mask on first. You stop trying to control what you were never meant to own. You're not in charge of your wife's happiness. You are not in charge of how your kids turn out. You are not in charge of fixing your friends or your parents or your boss. But you are responsible for your energy, your attitude, your behavior, your recovery, your discipline, your future. That's what Vet Rise is. It's not about being in charge of others. It's about taking ownership of yourself fully, relentlessly, with no excuses. Why do most veterans avoid responsibility? Well, here's the paradox, isn't it? Most veterans think they're responsible for everything, but they're not responsible for anything. They don't own their time. They don't own their body. They don't own their habits. They don't even own their mind. They spend so much time fixing others, they forgot to fix themselves. And that is the slow death of leadership. It's what breaks the mission. It's what breaks the man. And I know that letting go hurts, but this is why it's what you have to do, and this is why it does work. And I get it, guys. Letting go of that identity hurts. Because when you're not in charge, you feel invisible, you feel useless, you feel like you don't matter. But that pain, that sting, that is the beginning of freedom. Because once you let go of what you were never meant to carry, you can finally pick up what's actually yours. You can rebuild your body. You can create peace in your home. You can become a man your family follows instead of fears. You can lead by example, not by control, but you have to let go of it first. So here's my challenge for you. Stop trying to be responsible for everyone and start being responsible for yourself, because the only way out of this mess is ownership. Not control, not martyrdom, not fixing or saving or sacrificing, just ownership. Start with the mirror. Start with your breath. Start with the weight you've been avoiding and carry it all the way through. That's it for today. I want you to know that as I do these episodes, I'm going to be finishing them off with a little bit of an update of what's been going on in my life. So we can take the lesson and sit with it. We can understand that we are not in charge anymore. We can understand that as veterans, we have to do better. We have to change. We have to adapt. And it's a valuable lesson. It's a valuable lesson because it's one that took me a long time to learn. Why? Because I felt like if I could help everybody, then I was of use. You see, in the military, they teach you that if you don't help people, then you are useless. And it's just not true. Now, one of the things that I've been doing in my program is we are actually revisiting JJ did tie buckles. If you were in the Marines, this might be familiar to you. And every week we are revisiting of how it actually needs to be adapted and evolved differently. This week, I'm talking about decisiveness with my clients. I'm explaining how in the military, you could take decisive action, but you were always waiting for permission. In the military, you were trying to do the right thing, but someone had to tell you what the right thing was to do. That's kind of what this is all about today too, isn't it? This topic. This ownership. Because if you own it, you realize that whatever mistake you make, it had to be made. It was yours to make. Whatever path you end up on, if you don't end up on that path, it's because you didn't take the first step that you were supposed to take. And you got to take those steps, guys. You got to be willing to put yourself out there, even if it's scary, even if you don't want to, even when it feels like everything's falling apart around you, because I promise you it's not. It's just scary. But it's supposed to be scary because you don't know. Can you imagine if you don't do the things that you know you have to do? Can you imagine how far your life will go? It won't go very far. You can be exactly where you're at, maybe even in a worse place in 1 year from now compared to where you could be if you actually did the things that you said you were going to do. Confidence, guys. You can't just fake it till you make it because your body can no longer push through. You are older. Get that. So faking it till you make it doesn't work. You can't just enjoy the hump until it doesn't feel miserable. Expect it to be miserable. Embrace the misery. But understand you cannot stay there. You got to stop using pain as your gas. It's going to leave you empty. You have to turn around, face your demons, own your shit. Don't try and make sense of it all and move past it towards love, towards abundance, towards emotional maturity. As I look back over the past 3 years, I look at all the challenges that we have faced as a company. I look at all the challenges that we faced as a veteran society. I look at all the challenges that I have faced as a man, and they're all related. I started my company because I was running away from something. My undercover position as a Chicago police officer was abruptly taken away from me, and I was left arresting people for not paying their train fare. And it just did not sit well with me anymore. It was not what I signed up to do. I didn't want to do it anymore after doing what I loved for most of my career. Writing search warrants, making gun arrests, working undercover, being a West Side Chicago cop. I loved it. It was all I wanted. It was all I wanted since I was little. I remember I used to work at a dealership, helping my dad clean the dealership. And it was this dealership that had Ford Crown Vitz that they would service. And it was the old police, Interceptor. And I remember getting into one and taking pictures of it. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is all I want to do. I want to work undercover. I want to do this so fucking bad. And I did it. And then my identity was ripped away from me, guys. Not once, but twice. I lost it when I left the military. And then I lost it when the only thing that I was trying to work towards as a career was taken away from me. Now, I could have sat and waited for 2-3 years and I could have ended up in that same place. But what do you think my life would have been for those 2-3 years? It would have been miserable. I would have died inside. I don't know if I would have been able to recover. Which is why I'm telling you guys, you got to take ownership. You got to start with the mirror. You got to take initiative. You got to be decisive. Even when you don't believe you can do it, I'm telling you, all you need is a little bit of proof that the thing you're trying to do will work if you just try it. You don't have to have the entire plan. Do not get caught up in the plan procrastination process. Like, don't get caught in this planning trap. Don't. Because I didn't. And 3 years ago, I decided to start my business. We just had our 3-year anniversary, October 5th of this year, 3 years before my birthday. And I look back at the 3 years and I realized that every year, not only have we improved, but the people we serve has improved. We're at a level right now where we don't take everyone on as a client. We've removed people from our client base because I can't help everybody. Because if I am lowering my standards and I'm giving away free months and I'm bringing in, to be honest with you, people that don't want change, people that are actually not coachable, people that just want to feel good for the moment, people that don't really have that pain, as painful as it needs to be for them to actually change, I'm doing a disservice, not just to myself, not just to my other clients in this program, but to them. Because if they're not really wanting change and they think that helping themselves by having a coach and paying for somebody is going to help them, it's not. It is another Band-Aid. And to me, that is more hurtful. And to those people, I say, you are your own worst enemy. Your life will never change. It will never improve because you think that having a coach is the only thing that you need for change to happen, not actually following through with what you know you need to do. It's in you. I'm not special. I just bring it out of you. I've been through so many things that make me very qualified to talk about these things because I've been that veteran that spent 10 years in law enforcement, that did not address my issues, that didn't want to go to therapy, that gained 20 to 30 pounds, that went through 2 divorces. I've been that veteran, but I've also been the veteran that has found peace, that I have my own schedule that I keep diligently, that I have 2 beautiful children, Oliver and Luna, that I am raising as a co-parent with my ex-wife, that I have this beautiful house that I have built for myself, that I have a beautiful partner named Carolina who came into my life in a magical way. She found me through my videos. She just happened to be from Chicago while she was in Colorado, of all places. And we started talking. And I found my other half. I found my partner. I found the person that was my 10 because I became a 10. You see, she didn't just come into my life by chance. I didn't just manifest this by wishing for it. I did the freaking work, and you need to do the work too. You can't just hope for change. So I've lived it. That's why I can teach it. That's why I can coach this. That's why I can preach this, because I know what the journey looks like. And for those clients that unfortunately were not ready, for every one of those, there are 5 others that are. And over the past 3 years, I've gotten to teach over 300 people. And honestly, it has been so transformative for me because I have learned so much from the people in my program because I see them winning. I see people like Jaime making some big life decisions and following through with it. I see people like Rocio and Adam, who are a couple in my program, deciding to recommit to their love. I see people like Don in my program, that they show up to the coaching calls even when they're at work because they know the value of being there, being present. I see people that are joining the program today and the value they're going to receive because it's scary. It's not evident to them. They don't understand it. That's okay. They're not supposed to. But as veterans, we are skeptical because we have been designed that way. However, it needs to change. The way that we look at money needs to change. The way that we look at respect and urgency and emergencies and being there for somebody all the time and responsibility, the way that we look at things needs to change because it needs to evolve. I have 4 rules that I live by every day. These are the 4 rules that have gotten me through the last 3 years of my life. And these are the 4 rules that I have honed in on to be the most beneficial. Number 1, never multitask. When you multitask, you take away attention from the thing that deserves attention, and you are now splitting your efforts into 2, possibly 3, maybe even 4 different things, and nothing will get done that way. Number 2, do not be in a rush. When you rush, you are careless. When you rush, you forget to do things. When you rush, you don't stop and actually do it correctly. Number 3, always be present. When you are present, you are deliberately in your feet. You are engaging with the people that are with you. You are paying attention to what you are doing. Right now, I am present. I am thinking about my words. I am in my podcast studio. I am not thinking about anything or anyone else besides the person that will be listening to this. And I am working on my delivery to you so that these words actually help you. I am present. And rule number 4, concern yourself with yourself. The rest of the world cannot and does not affect you as much as you think it does. Let it go. And because I have followed these 4 rules, my life has significantly improved. And now I teach this to the people in my program. Over the past 3 years, I've been able to leave the police department. I went through divorce. I filed for divorce. We now have 2 beautiful daughters, and we co-parent in a very peaceful and respectful manner. I have a beautiful partner, like I mentioned. Over the past 3 years, my parents were able to come to my event as guests, and now, for the first time in their entire lives, they were able to travel to Europe. They never even took a honeymoon. Like, that's wild to me. Over the past 3 years, not only have I been able to reconstruct and rebuild my house from all the clutter that I had and all the trash in here, but now I sit here in my beautiful studio and I look around and I feel at peace. There is no trash. There is no random stuff on the walls. Everything is just so much better in my life because I found peace. Peace. Peace by ownership. Peace by responsibility. Peace by understanding that at the end of the day, it is my responsibility to decide what I'm going to get out of my life. I don't like the term veteran transition. Why? Because it infers that it's going to take a while, when in reality, it can be a reset. Veteran reset is what I believe is more accurate. You got to make a decision to leave certain people behind, to have rules that you follow, to drop your ego, and not let the fact that you did something amazing in your 20s be the reason why you can't do anything amazing in your 30s or your 40s. So what? You did something really amazing then. What are you doing now? Stop romanticizing the past. The nostalgia is only real because you remember the good parts, not the bad parts. Unlearn what the military taught you and relearn who you are before the military, because you already had the discipline inside you. Military just brought it out of you. There's a reason we all got out. And I love my time in the military, but I wouldn't do it again because I did it once and that's enough. And now I can do something else that's more amazing, being a father. That to me is more amazing. Over the past 3 years, I've been able to evolve and change the way that I see not just myself, but the rest of the world. I've been able to see that people will give you the respect that you want and you deserve when you demand it. And not by demanding it, by just expecting it. Just expect it. People don't have made up perceptions of you as a veteran. People don't even know that you're a veteran until you tell them, or until they see that 5'11" hat or that grunt style t-shirts, or because you have to introduce yourself as a veteran to everybody. They don't know, guys, and they don't need to know. I get it. You served your country. You did something that is admirable. Good. That is the reward. Silent pride. You don't have to go around telling the entire world. Trust me, people will know for the right reasons. You will stand out for the right reasons, but don't feel like you have to glorify it. Because if you do, you are more than likely making up for the fact that you feel like you didn't do enough. And you did more than enough, I promise you. There is no such thing as a veteran that is more of a veteran than some other veteran. There is no such thing as whether someone is a combat veteran or not. Someone is a veteran that saw combat. But you didn't choose where you got deployed to. You didn't choose at what time you joined the military, whether or not you went to war. Your unit did. Nobody asked you, do you want to go or not? You were going if you were in that unit. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Trust me, the veterans that went to combat, myself included, sometimes we wish we didn't have to see it. I don't want to think about the lives that I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about my friends that are no longer here. I wish I had friends that were still here that I think would still be here if we hadn't deployed to Afghanistan. So don't think that I'm lucky because I saw combat. It just is what it is. And don't think that your veteran service is any less than mine. It just is what it is, because I promise you, maybe you went through something that isn't normal. Maybe you went through something that I could never imagine. That's fine. It doesn't have to be what is better or worse. Stop trying to qualify yourself that way. Over the past 3 years, I have invested over $40,000 in coaching for me because I believe in spending money on me because it will always give me the biggest return. Always. Hands down, it will always give me the biggest return. Over the past 3 years, I have gone from talking at my kids and putting them on timeout to talking to my kids and having moments with them and talking to them. I heard a video yesterday on social media, and it was this guy. I don't know his name. It doesn't matter. And he said that, having a daughter is so much easier. All you have to do is treat her like a princess. You give her what she wants, she'll be happy. Having a son is hard because you got to make him into a man. You got to make sure that when he shows emotions, you make him tough. And you tell him, like, hey, you got to be a beast. You got to be a savage. You can't show emotions. And, like, I adamantly disagree. I adamantly disagree. Now, don't go and twist my words. At no point am I saying that you should not be a warrior. You should be a violent warrior that knows peace and cherishes peace enough to fight for it when you need to, but wants to live in peace. You should be a warrior that wants to live in peace. Now, not only do I disagree that having a daughter is easier, by far it has been a lot harder to raise Luna. Her emotional swings that happen, I don't know what to do with them sometimes, and I try my very best, but I know that is a role that I can't relate to because I am not a woman. So therefore, I will never 100% understand what she goes through. It is just 100% true. I will 100% never understand her 100%. The goal is to get closer to that than I ever have before every day, but I will never hit that 100%. Even with my son, he's grown up in an age and an era that is different than when I grew up with. I grew up with playing outside, going to the corner and playing basketball. He's going to grow up in an environment where I have to vet his friends and their parents because I want to make sure that he hangs out with good people. Why? Because I understand that I grew up playing on the corner, and even though it was fun, I grew up around some shitty people. I grew up around some shitty friends. And because of that, I always felt like an outcast, and I tried to be funny. I tried to be the class clown, but I never felt like I had friends in high school. I moved from high school to high school. I went to 5 different high schools. So it's different for my son than it is for me. I also disagree with the second part of his statement because he said that it's harder to raise your son because you got to teach him to be a man. Teaching your son to be a man doesn't mean that you show him how to reduce or swallow his feelings or emotions. It means that you teach him how to control them and how to use them. Fear can be a motivator. Sadness can bring you peace. Tears are not good or bad. They just are. As a child, you teach them what that emotion means by how they respond, by how you teach them to respond. Because I promise you, when your son turns 15 years old and he gets a girl pregnant, or he crashes his car, or he is offered some alcohol at a party, or even something worse, or he breaks his arm, or he accidentally gets into a fight and he doesn't know where to go to because he lost the fight. He's not going to come to you if you think that you're going to teach him how to be a man by yelling at him and teaching him how to be tough. He's not. He will come to you if he feels safe with you. That's the hard lesson here. You got to do both. You got to teach him to be safe with you and control his emotions and allow those emotions to be real for him, but also teach him to turn it on when he needs to and how to be that silent, prideful warrior that knows and understands peace and is willing to fight for it if needed. If needed. So over the past 3 years, I have changed my approach to parenting. They don't watch TV. They don't watch TV because I'm very specific about what they do and how they do. We go for adventures. We go to the mall. We go to the beach. We try new restaurants, and they order off the adult menu. I legitimately mean that. People don't believe me when I tell them that I don't want them to bring a cup with a little sippy cup lid on it. Because my son, who's 4, and my daughter, who's 2, can drink from a regular cup just like an adult can. They just have to do it slowly. Over the past 3 years, I have gotten to fall in love with myself. I found peace. I started doing hypnotherapy. I feel more at peace than I have ever felt in my entire life. Over the past 3 years, I have gotten to know my parents on a deeper level. My mom and my dad actually came to the event, like I said, and my mom is one of my clients. Now, I reflect on the past 3 years because that means that in the next 3 years, I can do what most people can do in 10 years, possibly in 3. Because I have catapulted. Because I'm not going anywhere. Because I will continue to be honest and be myself and share what I have to share, and I will continue to speak up and speak out as much as I can. By the way, I'm going to be in California at the Marine Corps birthday on November 10th at Huntington Beach. If you would like to get tickets to the event, go check out my social media. I am going to post on my wall, and I will tag Bastards Canteen. They're the ones that are holding the event. And, you can come say hi to me there. Make sure that you heard it on the podcast and, come say hi to me. It's going to be on November 10th at Sea Leads at the beach. I feel like I'm doing a promo now. This came out of nowhere. At Sea Leads at the beach in Huntington Beach, California. And it's $20. Tickets pre-sale ends November 9th. $30 day of event. $45 admission and limited edition USMC 250th and Save the Brave t-shirt sponsored by Howitzer. Every ticket sold directly supports Save the Brave's offshore fishing program, a 501c3 nonprofit connecting combat veterans through monthly ocean fishing trips at zero cost to the veteran. Your ticket isn't just an entry, it's a donation that saves lives. And again, I am going to put the link in the bio. In the comment section for this podcast. And I'm also going to add it to my social media so you'll be able to see it there, okay? I just remembered right now, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. They asked me to come out and be the guest speaker, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So if I served with you in the Marines and you hear this and you want to come say hi, come say hi. I will be in Huntington Beach November 10th. I'll be the guest speaker at the birthday event that they're doing there. I'd love to see you there. And if I didn't serve with you and you hear my podcast and you want to come say hi to me, that's where I'll be. And I would love to meet you. Come say hi to me. Come shake my hand. Please, please, please come shake my hand. Like, I want to meet you guys. Every time somebody comes and says hi to me that sees me out in the street, it feels nice. It happens a lot more than it used to. And it feels good because honestly, it's not about like, oh, I feel special. It's just that I get to meet somebody that heard something that helped them, right? And it feels good to know that information. So please, if you see me at the Huntington Beach Marine Corps birthday, November 10th, come say hi. Come shake my hand. Come introduce yourself. I would love to talk to you. Please, trust me, even if I look busy, come say hi. Okay? We'll take pictures. We'll do the whole thing. So, coming back to what I was saying, I'm excited to see what happens in the next 3 years. I'm excited to see what's next. I'm excited to see kind of where we end up. I look around right now and I'm in this beautiful studio that I built, and I kept thinking about, like, one day I'm going to have a studio like this. And I have this beautiful studio. And I have to stop and be grateful for this, because I have to remember that I am doing this and I am living proof of my work because of the results that my clients get, but also because of the results that I get. I am doing my own work every single day. I follow my rules. I don't miss on those things. And I also just want to appreciate all of you for being here. Like, these past 3 years have been absolutely amazing. So much has happened. So much has changed. We've gone from having one part-time employee, Sammy, to we have a full team now. We have 5 employees. Shout out to my team: Sam, Angie, Sammy, Felix, and Chris. You guys are amazing. I love you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the hard work that you guys do on a daily basis behind the scenes. I appreciate you guys, and I want you to know your family. So thank you for everything you do. And shout out to all my clients, past, present, and future. If you have been on this journey with me and I have helped in one way, shape, or form, thank you for allowing me to do that. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. And if we've talked before and you thought about joining, I'm telling you right now, this is not a sales strategy. I'm legitimately telling you, we are going to fill up soon, because we're not taking clients left and right. I do turn people away. I've had to remove people from my clients because they're not the right fit. I will only help you if you're willing to do the hard thing. This is not a cookie cutter program. This is not just some workouts. This is actual life changes that will transform you. I guarantee you that. So thank you if you are a client, or if you've been a client, for allowing me to be part of your journey, for allowing me to help you on your path. On that note, I want to stop and reflect on the future. I put a vision board together this January. I do one every year, and I started doing this thing where I update my vision board by moving some of the things from my vision board that did come true onto another vision board, which is more of a completion board, progress board, accomplishment board, whatever you want to name it. And last year I moved 4 big things. This year I'm going to be able to move 5 really big ones, and possibly even more. I haven't looked at it precisely. I do it in December, and I'm looking forward to it, because a big one is a partner. I met this beautiful partner of mine that I sometimes truly believe that I don't know, like, she was sent here from the universe, and she just materialized in front of me as this very real person that I just manifested because of what I need and who I am and what she needs. And like, I'm in it with her for life. And it feels so amazing because I have someone that supports me and gets it. And I mean, I've gotten to get to know myself on a deeper level because I've gotten to get to know her on a deeper level. So that's one of the things that I put on my board. We've also been able to take another thing off the board, which is me on a picture in front of a bunch of people talking. And I had a vision that this year I wanted to do 3 public speaking engagements, 3 minimum. It was a goal that I had because I'd never done it before, and I wanted to step on stage at least 3 times this year. And I've already done 2. I spoke at the Chicago Memorial event, and I also spoke at my event that I did with my clients this year. And I stepped on stage. I had a microphone. I delivered. It was amazing. I loved it. I fell in love with it even more than I already was. And now, on November 10th, I'll be able to talk one more time in front of hopefully thousands of Marines and their families. and I'll be able to motivate them and inspire them and deliver a message that will resonate for years and years and years with them. And I will get to impact the lives of more people. I promise you it's going to be freaking amazing. So vision boards are not just for putting stuff on there that you hope will happen. Vision boards are to keep them in sight, which means you keep them in mind. And there is stuff on my vision board that didn't happen yet. Maybe it won't, but it hasn't happened yet. I can also change my goal. I can also decide that what I want much more than a huge mansion, because I don't need a big mansion. I just want a nice house that I can live with and I can enjoy. But I want a private jet one day. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being able to afford a private jet one day. I don't want a bunch of nice cars. I just need one nice car, and I have that already. I don't need a bunch of nice cars. I don't need to be a millionaire. I want a private jet so I can actually travel the world with my family whenever I want to, because that's something I've never been able to do. That's the only thing I want right now. This episode was a little bit more informal. I hope you enjoyed the lesson at the beginning of this conversation. I hope you had a huge takeaway. I hope you are in a better place. I really, really do. So that is it for today. I want to thank you for your time and attention. Now, if this episode challenged you, sit with it. If it helped you, share it with another veteran who needs it. And if you are ready to change your life and start rising, you know what to do. You are the mission. No one is coming to save you. I will see you on the next one.